But our steps have led us here because ancestrally, we are descendants of people who have walked on this land for thousands and thousands of years. And it is only in the last 500 years that it has become dangerous for us because of these borders that have been built. Right? So it's up to us to say we don't want this anymore. It's up to you in every space that you're in to build the community necessary to have solidarity, to stand up against white supremacy, and to stand up against these systems that tear our spirit down, that tear our identities down, to make us forget that we are descendants of people that have always walked these lands. And we shouldn't have to die. Our relatives shouldn't have to die to do something that they've been doing for thousands and thousands of years, which has always been to go where the harvest goes, to go where, it is beneficial for our children to live and to thrive. And that's all we want. At the end of the day, whether you're white, black, indigenous, hondureño, guatemalteco, mexicano, afroamericano, afrodescendiente, afroindígena, indígena, white, blancos, todos queremos un futuro seguro para nuestras próximas 7 generaciones. Y por eso estamos aquí, porque ellos merecían mejor. We're here because they deserved better than this. And we're petitioning, asking you, pleading, please find ways to build critical solidarity with each other, because all we have is each other. Lo único que tenemos es el uno al otro. Estos sistemas no nos van a sostener. Entonces hagan lo que puedan, en el lugar que puedan, para tener esa solidaridad crítica en cualquier momento, para que esto no nos siga sucediendo. Mateo.
At this moment, we're going to come together and we're going to do a blessing for the spirits that we've lost. En este momento vamos a reunirnos en círculo y cantar, dar gracias a las vidas que aún están aquí, ¿verdad? Y a nuestras vidas, y a la misma vez a dar el adiós a estos espíritus que apenas se nos fueron, a darle luz a cada uno de ellos y sus ancestros y su linaje y su visión y su sueño, que era de tener que llegar de acá, y vamos a pedir, que nos acompañen y pues a mandarlos con Dios en una buena manera, honrando cada una de sus vidas, a los niños, a las mamás, a los papás, los hermanos, los hijos, a cada uno de ellos. Vamos a empezar.
So if everybody can try to get in as big of a circle as we can together, we're going to face the directions. We're going to first start off to the east. Yeah, we're going to make a circle with everybody, right? Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, so we're gonna start to the east, then to the west, then to the north, then to the south, and then we'll all face to the center, to the heavens, and then to Mother Earth, and then to each other. So if y'all would like to, maybe take a couple of steps back here with the cameras, so that you're behind the circle and let people have some space to convene as community, and then community move forward. Do you mind scooting back?
So if possible, we are trying to make a large circle all around us so that no one is behind you or in front. We want everyone to be side to side. So todos los compañeros si pueden hacer un círculo grande. Y también las cámaras, por favor. Cameras too. So if you want to get in community with us, that way there's nothing in the middle. I don't know, sir. We're gonna have to move the cameras.
Just do the best that we can. That's all we ask. That's it. And if you can't, and that's fine. That's the best that you can. That is okay. Okay. Do the best that you can.
Yes, thank you. So please, if everyone can please make a circle side to side. No one in front of you or behind you. Thank you.
Okay, vamos a empezar donde sale el sol. We're going to begin at the east to where the sun rises. To all of those newcomers that are to come and have passed. Oh my God. Damos gracias a todos estos espíritus, vidas que perdieron su vida, all of the children that we've passed. We pray for all of those that are yet to come, and that they may have a good journey on this earth for the next 7 generations. Damos gracias. We're going to turn to our right. Vamos a voltear a nuestra derecha. Oh. To the right. Vamos a dar gracias a la dirección. We're going to turn to the right one more time. Vamos a voltear a nuestra derecha una vez. Y en este proceso va a pedir a todas las direcciones. In this process, we're going to turn to all the directions and give thanks and pray that each and every one of their spirits gets lifted. Vamos a voltear a la derecha. We're going to take a step to the right, turn to the right, and give thanks to the south direction. Vamos a voltear a la derecha. Another right. Come back to the center. Al centro, la dirección del centro, a dar gracias.
So we've asked permission of all the directions, of all the 4 cardinals directions, asking for all those spirits and all those guides, pidiéndole a los espíritus, a los guías, al creador, la creadora que nos guíen. Y aquí en el centro pedimos permiso a las estrellas, a todos ellos que se han ido más allá, que nos sigan guiando. Y just asking the spirits that have gone on to continue guiding us and to guide us to hold this space for each other in a good way. Asking that of creator, creatress, and the stars, the sun, all of those entities in the universe that guide us and protect us. And now if you're able when you would like to kneel down, to put your left hand onto the ground. And if you're not able to kneel down, that's okay. You can just put your left hand. And the reason we extend our left is to connect our hearts to the heart of Mother Earth, and to help us feel grounded in our home place as people who walk this earth and are trying to do our best to reconnect to their heartbeat. Entonces, con la mano izquierda hacia la Madre Tierra, recordándonos que nuestro corazón está buscando esa conexión al origen, al corazón de la Tierra. Y ahora allí mismo en donde están, pueden ver a su alrededor, véanse el uno al otro a los ojos. So from where you at, do your best to share your gaze with one another, to see each other's faces, because the seventh direction is the direction that we share together and that we create together. So looking for that connection with each other, reminding us that we're all in a circle of life, we're all in a circle of community, and nobody is more important than the other, and nobody is less than one another. We're all beautiful. We're all extensions of the beauty and the plenitude of Creator, and reminding each other of that gift that we carry as human beings. Recordándonos el uno al otro, la séptima dirección es la dirección de la humanidad, lo que compartimos y viéndonos el uno al otro, recordando que nadie es más, nadie es menos, todos somos importantes y somos una raza unida por nuestros corazones. We're gonna offer a song to our relatives, nuestros hermanos, hermanas, hermanes. We want these investigations to demand justice for these migrants, and we need their names. We need to know who they are, so their families know who they are. So at every turn that you can, continue to fight for that. Continue to fight for us to find who they are, to find their family members. That's the least we can do to demand of these systems that are here that have caused this inequity, that causes this kind of violence to happen so close to our borders, and have those borders erased.
La investigación sigue porque tenemos que saber el nombre de cada uno de esos migrantes para que sepan sus familias que ya no están aquí con nosotros. Entonces, la lucha sigue para poder dar justicia a esos migrantes que ya no están aquí. Vamos a cantar una canción en español y la vamos a cantar pues juntos, si nos pueden acompañar. Y es simple, pero es sobre cómo queremos que nos entierren ya que ya no estemos aquí en esta vida. We're going to sing a song in Spanish, and if you know Spanish, you can sing along with us. But it's in honor of each and every one of us and how we would like to be celebrated when we die. And it's in Spanish, so we're going to leave you with this one song and prayer on the bed.
Una vasija de
antepasados. Yo quiero que a mí me entierren como a mis antepasados, en un vientre oscuro y fresco y una vasija de barro. En el vientre oscuro y fresco de una vasija de barro, de una vasija de barro. Y cuando la vida pase tras una cortina de años, y cuando la vida pase tras una cortina de años, surgirán nuevas naciones con sus ritos y sus cantos. Surgirán nuevas naciones con sus ritos y sus cantos. Con sus ritos y sus cantos.
So this song says, I want to be buried like my ancestors in the womb of Mother Earth. And when the next, when this veil that keeps us from seeing is lifted, then we will know that the nations will come behind us with their rituals and their songs and continue to push us forward into the future. And that future, we imagine it with a demilitarized border, with no borders, with no ICE, with no migra. ¡Chinga la migra!
Aquí estamos y no nos vamos, y si nos echan, ay, aquí estamos y no nos vamos, y si nos echan, nos regresamos. Oh my God. I want to give thanks to all the youth that showed up in solidarity, todos los jóvenes que llegaron aquí a estar en solidaridad. We're going to go ahead and just welcome you into this space and hand it over to Camilla Tlasukamati. Hi. Thank you, Laura. Thank you, Male.
No justice. No justice. No justice. No justice. What do we want? When do we want it? What do we want? When do we want it? If we don't get it, if we don't get it, if we don't get it.
Thank you, everybody, for standing in solidarity with us today. I want to point out the 50 candles that we have lit tonight. Although the casualties have gone up, the death toll is now at 53. And I wanted to just carve out some space for the lives that are continuing to be lost. I also want to point out the fact that there is not one city council member present at this vigil. There is not one city council representative present at this vigil. The elections are in November. The future of the state of Texas happens in November. So we need to take this energy to the polls. If you have the privilege of voting, which should not be a privilege, I want you to remember every single candle lit tonight and every life lost before and after, because that's why we are gathered here today. We are demanding transparency. We are demanding policy change. I'm going to open up the space and the mic to community in a second, because I want to hear from you all. We want to hear from you all. We are a community. We need to hear from everybody what your individual demands are and how this impacts your lives. But before I do, I want to invite Wanda, one of my amazing youth from Circles in the Hood, to come up and share her perspective, because the youth are the future.
buenas tardes. Mi nombre es Wanda. I'm going to say it in English and then I'm going to say it in Spanish, or maybe mix of both. I want to make something clear for starters. Do I look American to you? I want y'all to answer. Do I look American to you? Well, guess what? I'm not. I wasn't born here, and I was semi-raised here, and my blood comes from here, but I wasn't born here. And technically, I'm an alien, I'm an immigrant, I'm illegal. I was born in Mexico City, el DF. Soy chilanga. Esa es mi raza. And whether or not y'all believe it, I wish I could be so proud to say I'm Mexican American, and I wish I could raise my flag up high, but in school, I get called a beaner. In school, I get picked on. By teachers, by peers, by friends. And I shouldn't have to be crying in the corner because I lost 53 lives, because we lost 53 lives. That could have easily been me. That could have easily been my 3-year-old niece. That could have easily been my mom. So if you don't understand why I'm crying or why I'm so affected by it, it's because I was not born in America. And having to grow up watching my mom slave herself to get some papers that don't really help me in the future, that I could just toss around or be burned in a fire, and then again ICE would come to my door, no? So when I stand here crying and social media is blasting me, I'm not saying it's bad. Y'all are doing y'all's job. Thank you so much. But when we ask you to go to a circle, go to a circle. If we're asking y'all to be a friend, to be a family, be a friend, be a family. Because in this moment right now, we need y'all. We don't need no cell phone. We don't need to desensitize things. We need people. We need somebody to be here with us. So where's our presidents now? Where are my mom is at home working, excuse my language, working her ass off to give me a good future. She had 3 daughters who were not born in the United States, but all of them went to college. All of us have jobs. You know how many white people have come to my face and told me I'm stealing their jobs? We're not stealing anything. We are not taking anything from you. You did not want the opportunity, so I took it. I had to walk 10 steps ahead of you, so I took it. And I will keep taking, if that's what you want to say. I will keep doing as I am doing. But the moment where I have to stand here as a 16-year-old high school student with 2 more years ahead of me until I graduate to college, asking for help, asking our presidents to be here, asking for our governors, our mayors, somebody to raise awareness, then there's a problem. I am a brown girl in America who has faced more racism than a white cis male. That says a lot. That has gone, I walked 10, okay, so I'm going to put like a little dot plot for y'all. I walked 10 steps ahead of a guy to get $100. He walks 2 steps. Where is my 2 steps? Where's my 2 cents? So yeah, I'm angry. I'm hurt. I'm sad. Because the way y'all visualize us is saying that we are stealing, that we are narcs, that we are drug dealers, when we are just people who want to work. We are people who want to have a family over here. We want something better. My mom slaved her butt off to get that for us. I could be with my cousins and my uncles and my grandma who has Alzheimer's, who is in Mexico, who's forgetting about me right now. But I'm here instead, mourning the lives of people whose families don't even know they're dead, who are waiting for a phone call saying, hola mami, ya llegué a la frontera, estoy bien. Muchos saludos a todos, yo les mando dinero pronto. I know that call. I've been on the other side. So, lo que estaba diciendo en inglés es que ya ni sé qué decir porque siempre es la misma cosa. Siempre le estamos diciendo que no los queremos lastimar. No queremos pelear con ustedes. Solo queremos ser una familia. Queremos trabajar. Queremos mandarles dinero a nuestra familia. ¿Cuándo va a ser nuestro turno para ser felices? Porque aquí es pobre, pero allá estamos ricos. ¿Cómo funciona eso? ¿Por qué mandar $10 aquí es mandar $100 allá? ¿Cómo es eso? ¿No que este es el país de los libres? De libertad, de riqueza, de todo eso, pero estamos homeless. Estamos en las calles, estamos trabajando por $2, $3, cuando un hombre blanco está trabajando como $10 a la hora, cuando solo está agarrando una pluma y un papel. Y nos están diciendo narcos, drogadictos. No somos narcos, no somos drogadictos. ¿Me ven como drogadicta? Yo soy un estudiante. A mí me gusta estudiar, pero ¿sabes? Yo tengo que tener trabajo ahorita para ayudarle a mi mamá. Yo puedo estar haciendo dinero de esto, pero no lo estoy haciendo porque no soy blanca. No soy blanca. No, esto no es algo que yo puedo hacer para mi futuro, pero esto es algo que me apasiona. Yo quiero seguir haciendo esto porque me apasiona, porque yo tengo los derechos como humana, no americana, pero humana. I have the rights as an American, not as an American, as a human. These are my rights. I have the right to freedom and to my speech. I don't care if I'm American or if I'm Mexican. I'm human. I feel. I speak. I cry. I'm angry. Are y'all angry? Are y'all angry? Then be angry. Show them. Que nos valga madre lo que digan, ya, no tenemos papeles, pues chingalos. ¿Qué nos van a hacer? Honestamente, ¿qué nos van a hacer? Ya no nos pueden ser peor. Nos patean como si somos tierra. Y no somos tierra, somos la naturaleza, somos madre tierra. ¿Qué se creen? Uno de estos días, ellos van a ver todo eso. Van a ver que nosotros encontramos esta tierra antes de que ellos. No somos Christopher Columbus. No, we don't have wooden teeth. But we did come to this land first. We were here before any of them. We are like the roots of a tree. We were here and you can destroy the tree, but our roots will still be here. The blood will still be here. We are the veins. So I just wanted to say that if you're listening at home and you're like, oh my God, what can I do? I don't know. Post about it. Go on your phones, post about it. Go to websites, research, do your, learn. Donate. I should not have to educate you about something that you can go on Google and it takes 3 minutes to look up. I should not have to come up here and do what you can do for free. So, thank you so much for listening to me. Muchas gracias por darme el tiempo de día. Muchas gracias. Que tengan una bonita tarde. No sé qué más decir. Pero los veo, los apoyo, los siento. Yo soy uno de ustedes porque yo no nací aquí. Y los entiendo de verdad. Los quiero mucho, no los conozco todos, pero los quiero mucho. Ten cuidado.
Thank you. Power of a voice that should be uplifted. Before we introduce our next speaker, I want to say thank you to my migrant siblings.
So, le quiero decir las gracias a las personas, los hermanos que están aquí, nuestros estudiantes.
You are welcome here.
Ustedes están bienvenidos aquí.
And we hope to offer you safety.
Y esperamos darte la seguridad que
whether here at this park,
o como sea aquí en el parque,
or the shelter at Travis Park,
o en el albergue.
You are a part of our family.
Ustedes son parte de nuestra familia y comunidad.
And as a person of faith,
y como una persona de faith,
I worship my leader who was a migrant.
Yo le doy las gracias y yo veo a la persona que también era un migrante.
Jesus was escaping genocide.
Jesús estaba escapando la genocide.
And his parents took him to safety.
Y sus padres lo llevaron para la seguridad.
If you are from a different faith,
y si eres de otra parte de otra religión,
Moses was a migrant.
Moses también fue un migrante.
If you're from a different faith, Muhammad was a migrant.
Muhammad también fue un migrante.
If you are from a different faith, the Dalai Lama today, as we speak, is a migrant.
El Dalai Lama en este día es un migrante.
So as migrants, you're in good company.
So como migrantes están en buena compañía.
You are sacred.
Ustedes son sagrados.
And your lives are sacred.
Y sus vidas son sagradas.
So thank you, and it's an honor to introduce
Mil gracias.
Steve, who is one of the activists here, and executive director of an organization that does great for prison reform, I believe. So
ordinarily, I would start off this conversation by telling you good afternoon or good evening, or to thank you for coming today. But that's not right. I'm glad you're here. You need to be here. But why we're here is something that's so tragic that it's not just in the moment, but it's also from yesterday. I stand before you in front of 50 candles, all lit, all of them representing the light inside every human being. I also stand before you to tell you that there are many candles missing. We're gathered here for those who began the journey far, far away in a distant land to come to where we call the beacon of freedom. Only to get here and find that America has built a wall at its borders. A wall not built of mortar or brick, but built on the principles of the two great evils that plague the world: hate and human indifference. Those two great evils of American politics, both domestic, Central, and South American, they are just as much as guilty as the person who left these people to die. Our government I saw in the news that we had blamed our President Biden. And I'll tell you this. If President Trump had won the election, we would be blaming him. If Charlie Brown won that election, we would be blaming him. We can no longer blame presidents of the United States. We must blame internal bickering of American politics of red, white, and blue. We must blame gangster politics of red versus blue in the American legislations. We must blame a Congress unwilling to put aside political differences for the betterment of humanity. We must blame a Congress that has abandoned the Constitution and their duty to never take in their ideology any concept of hate, division, or human indifference. We must never allow that to happen. But it is. And that's why we are here. Our system is broken. Many people are coming here for a better life. Many people are coming here because our policies drive them from their homes. Human rights can not only exist in the United States, it must extend beyond this hemisphere, down into Mexico, Nicaragua, Honduras, Panama, Colombia, Argentina, all the nations that have been stricken by colonialism and the American doctrine of the Monroe policies that have impoverished their nations, taken their lands, and brought nothing but terror and death to a once hopeful people and culture. That is why we are here. And I leave you with this. Hope is like the flame on these candles. Although the wax may go down and the wind may blow it out, we can be rest assured somewhere nearby, somewhere close and somewhere distant, there is another candle lit. And because that candle is lit, hope will never go out in America. Thank you.
We're proud to be with you today. There are many vigils happening all throughout the week, but what I'm proud about this one is the people standing behind me and all around us. who are currently migrants coming through San Antonio, often through this park and through the shelters around us. And it's good to be with each other at this vigil. I want to introduce Laura Molinar from Sueños Sin Fronteras, who does amazing work in San Antonio for all different families here in San Antonio, especially those of our migrant siblings.
Thank you, Gavin. Hello, everyone. Buenas tardes. My name is Laura Molinar, and I am a Tejana. I'm going to just take this off here, if that's okay. I'm a Tejana. I'm a health advocate, and I also am the co-founder and co-director of the organization Sueños Sin Fronteras de Texas here in San Antonio. For 4 years, our collective has focused on providing health and healing support and advocacy for undocumented and immigrant women in San Antonio. 3 weeks after the horrific events in Uvalde, 4 days following the failure of the Supreme Court to protect the bodily autonomy and rights of pregnant folks around the country. 4 days. And the ongoing criminalization of policies such as Operation Lone Star and Title 42. And then we received this devastating news of the deaths and exploitation of migrant adults and children in our own community. We cannot separate these occurrences from one another because they are inextricably linked to the fact that our imperialistic government and capitalistic systems in the United States continue to intentionally exclude, fail, and harm our immigrant communities. One of the central tenets of reproductive justice is the right to live and raise your family in safe and healthy environments. Like others before them, these fellow community members left their home countries with hope to obtain security and safety for themselves and their families. The deaths of our 53 community members this past Monday wasn't an accident. It was a result of historical racism, border walls, militarization, hyper-surveillance, and the failure of our elected leaders to enact policies that allow people to migrate freely and safely in this country. Our community members that died on Sunday are human beings with loved ones, with strength, with hope, and faith. Their lives and their stories and safety matter to us. They matter to all of us. Migration is a sacred and ancient right, and it will continue to happen, and it is up to our community to create welcoming and dignified spaces for those migrating. However, without networks of care, resources, and other life-sustaining migration policies, people will continue to die. We must ask ourselves, and I specifically want to address community leaders with power and privilege, but they're not here. What are we doing to honor and support migrant lives? What are we doing to ensure that these state-sanctioned deaths do not happen in our community or anywhere else? The sheer and painful reality is that we cannot wait for city, state, and federal government leaders to act. We cannot seek hope from the same government structures that have harmed and exploited our people and continue to harm and exploit and kill our people. What we can do is come together as a community to allocate and to share resources needed to care and support immigrant communities in San Antonio and across the country. In closing, I would like to speak the names of two beautiful indigenous teenage sisters who migrated from Guatemala to the U.S. in pursuit of their dreams and to help their families. Their lives matter, and we send love to them and the others as they rest in the cosmos now. Please join me in saying presente after their names. Carla y Griselda Carac Tambriz. Presente. Otra vez. Carla y Griselda Carac Tambriz. Presente. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Laura. Now, next person that's going to speak is Michael.
Hi everyone, I'm Michael. I grew up homeless here, you know. I grew up without my mom and my dad. They left us when I was 3. Some people don't know how we struggle out here, how hard we work our asses off every day to provide food and stuff to pay for our family. We're slaving out here every day in the hot, no matter what temperature it is. We wake up early in the morning, go to work, come out, still trying to make time for our family. People out there thinking they have everything they need, thinking they struggled. We struggle every day. We're fighting for our lives out in the street. We're fighting for our lives everywhere. We can't even walk outside without being scared for our lives. You know? Every day we're struggling. Every day we're fighting for our lives. People think, well, we don't matter, that our voices don't matter. But our voices do matter. Our voices is the most. We're San Antonio. We're people. We all matter. Our voices need to be heard. We can't be silent no more. Our voices need to be heard. And we're not going to stop until they hear our voices, no matter what it takes. You know, we love every single one of y'all. Everyone here is family. We're all people here. We all need to be heard. We struggle every day. Some of us, we grew up homeless. Some of us grow up without nothing. But we still, every day, out here trying to be happy, trying to provide for the people we love and people we care about. People don't know what we go through. People don't know how hard we struggle out here. We struggle every day, and our voices need to be heard. We can't be silent no more.
Thanks again for sticking with us and showing solidarity tonight. Our next speaker will be Monica. Monica runs the migrant shelter across the street. As we are meeting tonight, Travis Park Church opens up their doors every single night to migrants who come through San Antonio and need assistance, need a hot meal, and need a place to rest. So let's give it up for Monica. Thank you for your work.
Thank you all. I'm shaking. I'm angry. I wrote down some words. But first, I just want to say thank you for all those who are in attendance, those who are watching from home, those who are, here with us in spirit. All of the people who have supported us, who have helped advance our community efforts, and who have intentionally listened to community members in trying to advance our work. My name is Monica Sosa. I am a proud fronteriza. The border just so happened to be lying 1 minute away from my house. If not, I would have also been on the other side of the border. I'm the proud daughter of Ramona and Jose Angel Sosa. All generations have lived in Brownsville, Texas, on the border. For the last 4 months, I have served as the Corazon Migrant Shelter Director, where we have received and cared for over 6,000 people in the last 3 to 4 months. As a representative of the Corazon Migrant Shelter, our goal is to work together with community and with people to ensure that migrating families have access to life-saving resources every single day. It honestly pains me to think of the people that we lost in the trailer, and to think that those could have been people that I personally could have served, that could have been here in the park with us today. To think of the many different tragedies we have seen time after time after time. Living on the border, you hear about this all the time, and it sucks. We are desensitized, and we need to change something. Because migration is a beautiful and natural event, and it exists in our everyday lives. It doesn't only exist in tragedy. The current policies set in place not only make it impossible for this natural occurrence to prevail, but it dehumanizes our siblings and continues to lead to unsafe and risky approaches for people who have no other option. How do we as a city prevent tragedies like this? How do we prepare ourselves as citizens and as a community to make our city more welcoming, more safe, and more secure for all? How will we honor and uplift the lives lost in the backyard, in our own backyard? How will we uplift these 53 spirits? Where are the bodies? How are we going to honor them? And last but not least, even though they're not here, where are our leaders? who are our leaders, right? Where are the leaders who will fearlessly guide us beyond love and prayers and towards direct action and equity? This is a call for action, a call for people power and leadership, a call for immediate and sustainable solutions to reduce harm all throughout our city. We are looking to you, our elected representatives, to step up and speak up on behalf of the lives of women, children, and men lost and who cannot be here with us today. Speak up and protect the thousands of others who are at risk of facing the same consequences of these violent and inhumane policies. We need resources. We need to activate spaces. We need elected officials to listen to us and to fund and invest in our own communities. We need them to speak up, to show up, and show us how leadership can really look like, because we need it now. Thank you.
If you're ever interested in serving those siblings that come through San Antonio, please talk to somebody who works at the shelter and learn how to volunteer and create safety and more opportunity for our migrant brothers and sisters to find safety. I'm going to reintroduce Camilla Factory, if she's here, to close this out and offer an opportunity maybe for other people to share before we close. And then we'll spend some time, if you want to spend some time by the candles and in community, we can do so. 1 second. Does anybody else want to share before Camilla closes? Any voices want to be heard? Yeah.
First off, I want to tell you that I am 19 years old. Anytime when I meet someone and they hear me talk, you hear me tell you about my day, what I've experienced, what I've seen with my curly hair, my beautiful brown eyes to my caramel skin, is that I lived a long 19 years life. I have been couch surfing for almost 2 years. I did intake at Haven for Hope. I had my mother, my grandmother, and whoever I grew up with in my Hispanic culture tell me, since you don't want to listen to me, listen to them. Let them take it from here. Because I didn't want to wash away my tradition. I didn't want to live check to check and survive like that. I wanted to dream big. I didn't want to struggle. I didn't want to be hurting and be isolated. I wanted to be happy because they are not happy. I want different. We all want different. We don't want to be hurting. We don't want to struggle. We want to live the American dream. I am proud to say I'm an Afro-Latina. I will not acclaim African-American or Latina-American because am I American? Do I look American to you?
Voy a traducir por ustedes en español porque personas aquí en alrededor pues han pedido que se traduzca porque hay mucha persona que no habla inglés, ¿verdad? Entonces, pues eso también es una de las maneras en que nosotros podemos enseñar nuestra solidaridad. Cuando tenemos esas oportunidades de conocer la voz de la gente que está presente, tomar pues esas recomendaciones. Entonces, pues está diciendo esta joven líder aquí que está enfrente de ustedes que pues ella que se crió con su familia latinoamericana, ¿verdad? Pero que es muy orgullosa de ser afrodescendiente y afromexicana, porque a veces hasta ni puede decir que es americana, porque cuando la ven, no la ven como americana.
And with that being said, I don't talk down on my family. I say they're well off. They're doing fine. I just know in my heart that they aren't happy. When you go and you talk to them, they're going to be like, Charisma's fine. She's doing what she has to do. She's being happy. You know, I see her. But they don't really know because they aren't educated. They don't understand what I'm doing. When I say I'm with Circles in the Hood, they think it's Boys and Girls Club. They think I'm on a field trip. you know, speaking at rallies. They think I volunteered to do the fashion show. They don't really see the change that I am bringing. They don't really see how I am involved in my community. A community where I was located on the east side of San Antonio. I graduated with my GED from Healy Murphy because I was not able to, I wanted to rush. I wanted to get school over with so that way I can live my life. I wouldn't have to worry about school. But little do I know, when I graduated, I still was being overturned because I don't have a paper. My GED isn't as well seen as a high school diploma. My GED isn't as well seen as an associate's degree to a bachelor's degree to a master's degree to a PhD. So yes, I can talk the talk, I can walk the walk, but because I don't have that paper, I'm gonna be turned away. And who knows, maybe be something else. But I know I am capable. I am very capable. You know why? Because of my familia. Because of my community. My family maybe not had that opportunity to show me that way, but I come and I ask my family members. I come and I ask my community, what should I do? Because I have that voice. I was shut it up so long to where my community taught me how to speak my voice. And once I speak, I will not shut up. And that should be the same for each and every one of you. You should learn how to use this voice. Because this voice, once you speak it, once you say it, what you say is on your mind, it will be a beautiful thing. I guarantee you. Yeah, you're going to have people, oh, you're talking my ear off. Because they don't understand. They are not yet educated.
Entonces voy a traducir un poco de lo que comparte nuestra joven aquí, Charisma, hablando de todos los obstáculos que ha tenido a veces por medio del racismo que a veces existe en nuestras propias familias en contra de los afrolatinos, afrolatines, ¿verdad? Que a veces uno tiene que buscar su propio camino dentro de eso y encuentra sus comunidades que los empoderan, ¿verdad? Para utilizar su voz para crear comunidad, porque a veces nuestras comunidades son los que nos van a ayudar a ponernos al frente y darnos esa confianza y esa motivación de ir más allá para sus retos, ¿verdad? Y para ella su reto pues fue buscar su educación y que pues a veces también dentro de nosotros mismos nos podemos ayudar elevando nuestras voces y aprender a utilizar la voz para ayudar a la comunidad.
So with that being said, I know we have the park for only a couple of more minutes. My name is Charisma Deasia Seville Williams. My voice matters, your voice matters. Everyone's voice matters. It's up to you to use it.
Mi voz es importante, tu voz es importante, nuestras voces son importantes. Todas nuestras voces deben ser elevadas. Gracias. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Charisma, for your voice. And thank you, Miguel. When I see you the whole time burning your fingers to relight each candle.
Cuando veo que, gracias Miguel, porque cuando veo que te estás quemando los dedos para asegurar que cada una de estas velas se mantenga prendida,
it reminds us never to stop fighting
nos
for each
recuerda que
life.
nunca deberíamos de parar de de luchar por cada vida.
So thank you for showing us that each flame matters.
Entonces gracias por esa demostración de que cada flama es importante, cada luz es importante.
So let each of us remember that sometimes we're going to get burned.
Hay que recordar cada uno de nosotros que a veces nos vamos a quemar.
People will misunderstand
Hay personas que nos van a malentender
and misalign
y no se van a alinear con nosotros
and tear us down,
y nos van a querer callar, nos van a querer aplastar,
but we stay united
pero vamos a mantener nuestra unidad
as a family.
como una familia.
Migrants' lives matter.
Las vidas de los migrantes importan.
People of color lives matter.
Las personas de la mayoría global, que somos nosotros de piel morena, de piel negra, de piel café, nosotros somos importantes.
And I'm going to introduce and close out the time with our great leader, Camilla Factory from Black Freedom Factory.
Y vamos a cerrar con nuestra compañera Camilla Factory. Creo que una persona de nuestra comunidad tenía una cosa más que decir. So I think, did you still want something to say? Did you still have something to share?
You can come up.
My name is Jesus Ramirez, and I've been here in San Antonio living for over 20 years, but I'm originally from Arizona, and so I can relate to seeing how the struggle is for these immigrants that come to this country to live the American dream. And I want to say that I'm a grandson of migrant workers, and my maternal grandparents lived the hard life. You know, my grandpa and his wife, they traveled all around over the country back in the 60s and 70s, and with my mom and her siblings. And so I hear stories all the time about how hard it was to work out in the fields, and so I can relate to how these migrant workers feel when they're out there struggling, walking hundreds of miles out in the desert or in the hill country or wherever to try to make a better life for themselves. And so we all know how, you know, when this country was founded, how Lady Liberty said, "Give me your poor, your tired, and huddled masses." And yet here we are in this day and age where we still discriminate against immigrants, whether they're, you know, come over here the right way or the wrong way. They still are humans. They still deserve respect and justice and to be able to prosper in their lives. Now, I could say that I've grew up in poverty, and I've worked hard all my life, and right now, you know, I work in customer service, you know, with a good job. But even with the good job, it's still, you know, hard to make ends meet, you know, because our country, you know, especially with the economy nowadays, is hard to get by. You know, we all struggle day to day, but we all got to remember that these people, no matter what, you know, what race, whether Hispanic, Latino, African, Asian, Caucasian, Anglo, whatever, we all are still humans, and we all still deserve respect and justice. So, thank you for coming out today. Thank you.
Muchas gracias. Thank you. I don't know if you, okay. Gracias, and just nomás para traducir bien rápido, el compañero Jesús Ramírez nomás nos quería compartir, pues que él conoce esto lo que conmueve a la gente a migrar, ¿verdad? Él viene de descendientes de papás, mamás, abuelos, abuelas que fueron trabajadores migratorios, migrantes, y pues entiende esta lucha y sabe que pues la manera en que podemos seguir adelante es demostrando esta unidad.
So first off, I'm going to address you media that stayed.
Gracias a las
Thank you. Do not, but I'm going to be very blunt, do not let your news director or your producer edit any of these people's words. Don't let it happen. For 4 years I was in a truck and I saw black and brown people in the fields working. I heard they're stealing our jobs. I didn't see a single one of them white folks going to go pick food or kill animals. So I thank my migrant brothers and sisters. But media, I'm telling y'all, do not cut a single thing. You let this fly. Support our brown brothers and sisters. They need us now.
Thank you, gracias. Entonces, quería compartir con nosotros, pues una demanda, ¿verdad? Y una gratitud a las personas de la prensa que se quedaron aquí para escuchar todas estas voces y demandar, ¿verdad? Que no editen las palabras de la gente, que todo esto que se está escuchando, que se sepa, que se escuchen estas voces y se difundan para que estas historias no se pierdan dentro de la criteria de los directores, de las personas que editan pues todo lo que pasa por la prensa, porque es necesario que sepan que cuando hubo estos momentos, que hubo solidaridad para las personas migrantes, para las personas morenas, para las personas de la mayoría global que estamos pasando pues, por estos crisis debidos a la violencia de los estados.
So it's about time. We got the park till about 9:30, but we don't really care. No, I'm kidding. We do ish, but like, yeah, forget the nation state. We have one more person who wants to speak. Did you still want to have a word? Yeah. We wanted this to be a space for community to be able to come and grieve. Also, I don't know why, tip your toes. To grieve, but to also channel that rage. There are vigils happening all week that city council representatives feel comfortable at because they're not being held accountable, but this is the space for them to be held accountable at. So if you have anything to say, if you want to call out anybody, we're here to cultivate and nurture that space. And also feel free to grab a candle on your way out.
Antes de cerrar, pues quería nomás nombrar que pues hay una persona más que quiere hablar, pero también recordándoles que la razón va a haber muchas vigilias, va a haber muchos espacios en nuestra comunidad durante esta semana en los que se van a honrar las vidas y se van a presentar los representantes de la ciudad, ¿verdad? Pero a lo mejor se sienten más cómodos en esos espacios porque ellos mismos los pueden controlar, ¿verdad? Entonces este espacio es para que nosotros podamos hablar de nuestro enojo, de nuestra rabia, de todo lo que nos está molestando de este momento que estamos viviendo, para que ellos sepan a qué nosotros les estamos tratando de hacer responsables, para que dentro de sus posiciones y el poder que ellas tienen, puedan hacer algo, y aquí estamos para poder difundir esas voces de nuestra comunidad. Entonces, gracias por tenernos paciencia y estar presentes a escuchar esas voces. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you. I love to talk, but I'm only going to talk for a few minutes because they got to go. But what I want to tell people, just like I want to talk long, I've walked these streets since 1979. I've raised family, I've worked at churches, I still work right here at Travis, the Haven, in the street with the people. You got to know how to deal with all type of people. And what I want to say to all migrants or immigrants or Mexicans or black or white, get that out of your head. You know what it really is? It's love. If you have no love and kindness and care about a person, then you just off the chain anyway. Number one, treat people right. Show love. Everything I do is about love. If I can't treat you right, I want to be treated like you treat me. Like I want to be treated like I treat you. It's all about being real. Grow your people. Quit teaching your kids at home, that nigger, that Mexican, that bean picker, that white boy. Love. We are people. God looked at us as all his children. So when you take us out of being God's children, you know what you're looking at? The devil. We're supposed to treat everybody with hands, love, care. It's not about money. It's not about power. Why do you think the pandemic happened and all of a sudden all the money came there? What? Your house. Where's your kids? Where's your sickness? Everything come together. When we have storms, everything comes together. We need to start off together. We got to keep working with it together. I've been out here a long time, and I may not have that much longer. So you people, love and care, continue to speak up. What you don't like, all this killing, all this politics, all this power, all this money, is destroying you. Remember love first. Because all that is not going to help. Them 46 people dead. I bet you was behind money. I bet you. It all boiled down. All them lives were probably killed for somebody trying to get money. Some kind of way there was money involved. Power, politics. Show me love, then I can talk to you. If you're not showing me how to take this young man, I don't care if he ain't speak English. There were some people, I was over at the migrant thing, I worked over there Sunday cutting hair. Man, there were 5 or 6 people who could cut hair. Come on, man. Let's put this American and put everything together. We know how to cut hair and we didn't even know how to talk. Love, care. When you have that in your heart, it comes together. Then you learn how to communicate.
Love. Thank you, James.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Thank you,
Entonces,
James.
quiero traducir lo que dijo nuestro hermano Jaime, a James. Él dice, pues él ha estado trabajando estas calles desde los 1970s. Entonces él no sabe mucho, pero sabe estas calles, ¿verdad? Y en las calles lo que siempre le ha ayudado a hacer su trabajo es el amor, ¿verdad? Entonces no importa si somos blancos, morenos, afrodescendientes, latinos, latines, indígenas, ¿verdad? Para lo que importa es cómo nos estamos tratando el uno al otro, ¿verdad? Nos estamos tratando con cariño, con respeto y más que nada con amor, ¿verdad? Porque eso es cuando bajas más abajo del amor, pues eso ya es la maldad, ¿verdad? Y el amor nos abre a la abundancia y a poder ver la humanidad dentro de cada uno de nosotros. Y pues para hacer un mensaje largo, corto, ¿verdad? Es lo que nos ayuda cuando los sistemas nos fallan, cuando hay tormentas, cuando hay pandemias, cuando hay desastres como estos. No es el dinero, no es el poder, no son los políticos los que nos ayudan, somos el uno al otro porque nos amamos, y ese amor es lo que nos va a dar el motivo para seguir en relación con el uno y el otro, y abrir nuestros corazones para seguir luchando juntos.
Thank you, Laura. Thank you. Yes, and thank you all for coming tonight. I feel like when folks heard that this was a rally, everybody has an expectation in their head of what that looks like. But for me, that looks like solidarity, and that looks like unfiltered conversations about politics, because politics should not be censored. Our lives should not be censored. So thank you for coming out. Please continue to uplift the folks who serve the migrants every single day, not the migrants, migrants every single day, and just people, because that's what we are at the end of the day, our people. Thank you.
So we're gonna close the circle. So if you would like to face with us in the directions, whenever we open a space, especially to honor the lives of people who have passed, we want to make sure to close so that they can go on their way, and please keep fighting with us and for each other. So we're going to start off to the east, west, north, and south. Ometeo. We're closing the direction. and keep it lit on your in your home altars or your place of prayer, or your place of worship. Feel free to take a candle home and continue holding these families in prayer. Si quieren pueden recoger una vela para mantenerlos, mantener presente en sus altares, en sus lugares en sus lugares donde veneran ustedes sus altares, sus creencias, sus valores. Pueden llevarse una veladora para estar en unión desde donde estemos.
Sarita. Mamá, Sarita. ¿Me agarras un palo?
Aquí está, mira. Oye, qué padre.
Tenía todo un plan planeado y no.
Creo que eso es lo que importa y creo que eso es
¿Dónde es España?
No, yo soy de México.
¿De verdad? ¿Tienes no, perdón, es que tienes el acento del español.
No.
Español. Tienes el acento bien bonito. Yo no tengo ese acento. Pero.
Reuters. Okay. Have you heard of Kinney County? It's on the border, but I haven't. A couple members have gone there. New York Times and someone else, but so much
What's
goes
going on
on there that is swept under the rug. All of our local officials and our law enforcement are profoundly sorry if I'm.
Yeah, no. One sec. I'm actually live right now. If you want to send me, what you know, that'd be great. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much.
I can't see. I don't know the. I asked some. Yeah, look at me. I don't know where the other women are. Okay, so 1 second. Who are you with? I'm with Reuters. Yeah, Evan Garcia. Check. 1 2. 1 2. Hey, if you can, just tell me your name, how to spell it, and your title.
My name is Pastor Gavin Rogers, GavinRogers, and I'm the Associate Pastor at Travis Park Church and the Executive Director of Quarter Zone San Antonio.
So, why was it important to have this event today?
I'm sorry?
Why was it important to have this event?
Well, what we experienced a few nights ago was tragic, to lose over 50 sacred lives because of a failed system, a failed immigration system where our politicians are refusing to work together. And because they're refusing to work together, we have a broken system of immigration, and people are forced to make very tragic decisions. And this is unacceptable. We need to come together, and we need to stand together and demand action. This is a call to action. Not only are we going to memorialize the amazing, brave souls that we've lost, we're going to also not let their death be in vain. We are going to stand for what is right. And this crisis has been going on for a long time under Republican leadership, under Democratic leadership, and to me it hasn't changed. And so therefore, as a person of faith who believes that Jesus migrated to escape genocide, if you're, like we said earlier, if you're a different person of faith, Muhammad was a migrant, Moses was a migrant, the Dalai Lama today is a migrant. So many people around this world uplift and worship migrants, and yet we fail as a society here in the United States to understand that a beautiful fact that we're